All right. Gonna get this set up here. I wanted to share one of the crafts that one of my kids have made in the last couple days. My youngest little guy is quite the engineer, and so he's always building um, these waterfalls while he's building anything. But he built this waterfall. He collects rocks and garbage down at the beach, plastic garbage and so forth. And so I just thought that was really, really neat. You can see that. So we're just waiting for Wayne O'Toole to come on. He is likely barricading himself from the puppies. He has 3 beautiful dogs. I love German Shepherds, so we're just waiting for him to come on. Hello. Let's say hello to our viewers. Hello, Mary DeVoe from Jane's Cafe in Brador. Mary, today was it your first day? Or possibly maybe your second day. I can't remember, but I saw your post. That said you were opening up. And so that was really great. Now, Jane's Cafe viewers, because I know a lot of people watch this from all over Canada. Jane's Cafe is in Brador. And I can see Mike. And Mary has an incredible staff, 30 years in the business, and people love her restaurant. I mean, they line up down the street for her delicious, amazing home-cooked meals. And her staff is so awesome. And there is such a humanitarian thread that runs with Jane's Cafe. So, of course, I'm drawn to that because Mary has done a lot of things to help the community in Cape Breton Island, which is really great. Now, it is, Wallace. It is a great place to eat. I agree. Bernadine, let me look at my viewers here. Okay. Bernadine Boudreau. Hello. Where are you from, Bernadine? And Wayne O'Toole, if you're watching this, I can see your messages, but I'm just not understanding how come you're not seeing the invite that I sent you. This is kind of weird. So bear with me for a second here. I can see me and the mic said it's working. We did a sound check. Up again, don't hear anything. Okay. Click on the new link that I just sent you. So anyway, viewers, Cape Breton, because I'm assuming a lot of people are tuning in from Cape Breton. This is a time for chat. There's no barriers here. It's a nonpartisan broadcast. So that's really great because you get to bring to the table what you enjoy and love and maybe your frustrations and anything else. And this is a Wayne O'Toole and Archie McKinnon. Now, I am proud to say that back this past fall, I had the opportunity. Oh, there he is. I see Wayne now. I had the opportunity. Wayne, I'm going to bring you on here.
There we go.
We got you. Hey. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good today. How about yourself? Oh,
well, I'm tired. I'm not gonna deny the fact that I'm tired, but I'm really happy to be on with you tonight because you know what? I haven't prepared a lot for this because I challenged myself to ask you a few questions for personal curiosity of Cape Breton Island. So
Sure.
It's like one of those casual chats that I hope a lot of people get involved with.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. So if you're watching us, viewers, we would love to see you in the comments to the side. Now, Wayne O'Toole runs a group on Facebook called Head in the Game. Well, it started out with Be the Change. And then I noticed you changed it to Head in the Game, which I thought was fabulous. What a great idea, Wayne.
Well, it's growth, right? I mean, I started off with, just my heart on my sleeve, but that doesn't do a whole lot of good. So
yes,
you got to get my head in the game, right? So,
exactly. So, Wayne, there's a little bit of overlap in the Wi-Fi exchange because it's wonderful time and era dealing with Wi-Fi. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Sydney Mines, Cape Breton. I grew up in poverty. There's no doubt about that. I mean, most of my generation, there was a lot of poverty back then too, right? So, but I built my way up and got a good career, and I worked 20 years and then became sick, and now I'm off again, right? So.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, again. We have a bit of delay
good.
for sure.
So sorry. Yeah, no. So I wanted to, so to our viewers watching,
yes.
Cape Breton Island, because we have a lot of viewers all over Canada and nationally, we have 288,000. So Cape Breton Island, you guys, if you look on a map, it's the eastern end of the Canadian province of Nova Scotia. Its Cabot Trail is a roadway encircling the island, passing forests and rugged coastline. And the drive skirts Cape Breton Highlands National Park, whose Skyline Trail overlooks the Gulf of St. Lawrence. There's a little bit of feedback, Wayne, on your end. I'm wondering if you have a microphone or earphones in.
No, neither. I wonder if it's my laptop. Okay. Try that. I had my laptop on.
Do I sound like I'm echoing?
No, not really.
No, okay.
There's a bit of delay.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Sure.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
The drive skirts of Cape Breton Highlands, it's known for migratory whales, and the town of Sydney honors local music with a big fiddle, a giant violin statue on the waterfront. So, that being said, that's what our tourists see. But what do our local people see? And you have a pulse on Cape Breton Island, Wayne.
Well,
so let's hear. Give us the goods, Wayne.
I think we're being left behind. We're missing so much here. We have so much opportunity. We're resource rich. We have a talented, lot of people on the island. I mean, there's people, with trades and educations and all kinds of different things, but everything has to come in from away, right? And it's like we can't sustain that. We have 4 to 7 days worth of groceries on our island, which means if our causeway shut down for 4 to 7 days, there's going to be riots in the grocery stores, right? Yeah. So, poverty's high here. I know in Eskazoni, child poverty is at about 78%. In the Cape Breton Regional Municipality, which is our industrial area, we have child poverty levels that range from roughly 33% to 43%, depending on age brackets. I mean, it's pretty dim. We don't have a lot here, manufacturing wise or industry wise. We're kind of, we have a lot of great local businesses, though. I mean, that's a big part of it, but we just need to grow. We need growth.
Yeah. What do you love about Cape Breton?
It's feels home. My family's here. We grew up in a little Irish clan on the same street. It was just community-oriented people, beautiful island, landscape-wise. I mean, we have valleys and hills and water everywhere, lakes, rivers, oceans. I mean, it's beautiful here. It really is.
Yeah. And what's your frustrations about living here? I think you just mentioned some, but is there any that you didn't get to mention?
High taxation. I mean, our property taxes, I know it's not the same across the island. Some places are a little more on par, but in CBRM, we're about double that of the capital, Halifax, right? So, plus we have a high poverty rate. So people that are low working income can't afford housing, can't afford the taxes on the housing, right? Our services are poor, our roads are broken, there's not much. We seem to spend more on pipe dreams as a municipality or as a province in general than we do on actual, if you want sustainability, you've got to build it. You can't just keep relying on the same stuff over and over again. It's kind of frustrating.
Now, tonight, if I ask any questions, it's not. Tonight, if I ask any questions, it's not that it's my opinion, but my role on Ripple Effects obviously is to play a neutral person and to ask you the questions that some people ask.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they're tough questions, right?
Oh, for sure.
So sometimes Cape Breton Island is known for, oh, stop whining. Stop. Like, the world has issues everywhere you go.
Yeah.
What differentiates us from the rest of the world?
Oh, wow. The rest of the world, that's a bigger topic. We're not third world in any way, shape, or form. That's for sure. We still have strong community. We have good roots here. We have the ability to do a whole lot more if we're given just a little chance is all we need. There's so many programs, like they did the community solar program that were charities and churches and the municipalities could put, I think it was 100 kilowatts of power, which is 20 times the size I've got, and set their rate so that they could actually profit instantly as a charitable organization from doing this. But the only place in Cape Breton that I know that has the system like that is CBU, right? Which is great for CBU, don't get me wrong, but like, what about all the other, like, nothing was pushed out to us to say, look, here it is, you know what I mean? I don't know how many programs are in and around Halifax, so like, it seems like we're the last in, so nobody really bothers. Like, on the other side, it's like, yeah, they're just whining, they have everything they want, but they don't live here and see what's happening with poverty. And I mean, lots of things, not just poverty, but poverty is impacting other things like addictions and then we have housing issues too, like everywhere though. Housing is a pretty common thing worldwide. So, yeah.
I think the latest population of Cape Breton too, the census has gone down quite a bit in the last couple of years. And I think the census sits at around 130 for Cape Breton Island. Now, I have a conflict, though, in my head that I need to understand is that we want people to come to the island, but are we ready for that?
Oh, boy, that's a tough one.
Do we have the living accommodations? Do we have the rent? Do we have the infrastructure for more people to come to the island? Are we ready for that? And are we on a personal level? No?
I don't think we're not ready on a housing level. We're not ready on infrastructure levels. We're highly taxed. So, I mean, if you tell somebody, hey, you can move from a beautiful spot in British Columbia to the Cape Breton Regional Municipality and they pay 2 or 3 times the taxes, that's an instant no. You know what I mean? It's like nobody wants to. Housing prices here are good, can be good, because I bought this place in 2012 for $26,500, and I mean it's almost 1,000 square feet.
I saw your place.
Yeah, it's not grand or spectacular, but I don't want grand or spectacular. I want comfortable.
No, right? You know what? It's perfect, Wayne. It's exactly. Yeah. I'm in Ilmadam, and I bought a house right on the ocean. I love it. But yes, keep going.
I don't know if I forget where I left off though, but I just don't think that way we're ready. I mean, we have. I don't know what the unemployment rate's at now. Last I seen it was 16.8 or 15.8, which is crazy. So again, like, we want to bring people here, like, unless we've got something for them to do, they're not going to come, right? I mean, they need jobs. People need jobs. But or I mean, I'd love to see like a more regenerative circular economy where we do everything here that we can. Like we've got everything we need to do the basics at least, right? Food, power. Communities can run all that. Communities can get together and run all that stuff, and it's not difficult. I just looked today. I posted, I think I posted it on my page, or I might have posted it somewhere else. Like, the government of Canada is offering up to $3 million loans for people to get into agriculture. And then they offer more loans to develop green businesses. So you can develop a green powered indoor growing facility to grow food with LED lights and solar panels. So you don't have to rely on power company. We could do that as a group, not as like, don't give it to one person, because then one person collects the top, everything. And then the bottom people, get hopefully $15 an hour, but we're not even at that yet. So we have to really work on that stuff. We have to make ourselves attractive, like, not just, we're attractive. We have, like, island wise, beauty wise, we have that attraction. We're missing arts. We have great arts, but I mean, like, you think of going somewhere where that is artsy, right? We don't have nearly enough, but we don't have the economy for it yet. So we're in a mix. Like, it'd be nice to get people here to support the economy, to develop the growth, but then how do you get them here? That's the problem. I guess we're kind of stuck, right? Yeah.
Now, what do you feel? I noticed you're an advocate for, change both socially and economically. What do you feel right now, especially with COVID, is maybe one of the first things we should be looking at to kind of regenerate ourselves, to get ourselves going again? What do you feel we should be looking at? COVID threw me off, threw everyone off. So what do you feel we should be looking at, especially with the impact of tourism? I mean, that's really going to be impacted. What do you think the next steps are to get going again?
Oh boy, that's going to be tough. I mean, it's a tough one. For our local tourism, I highly recommend staycations as soon as we start to open. We have a beautiful island. I haven't seen.
Oh, I agree.
That, right? I mean, I could spend, 2 weeks in Ganesh and 2 weeks in Inverness. It's a deck. Like, there's beautiful areas you could come visit locally, right? And you could drive there, so it's not like a flight or. So tourism wise, we could handle that one if people kind of jumped on board and did that. Economically, we need some stimulus. We really need some stimulus. Either it's going to be communities that research and get the money that we need through existing government programs, or we just have to start raising it on our own. Like having, you buy a share. You know what I mean? And then, like, nobody gets to own massive shares. Everybody gets it's like a cooperative, or any other cooperative, right? I think that would work for us, and then again, your own food, your own energy, those are two big things. If we had some stimulus, like, you give me $100 million, like, that's, been handed out everywhere else, I could power this island. There's no doubt in my mind I could, right? Not just me, my ideas and people with more able bodies. There's no doubt we could power this island. So stimulus or keeping things local, or both, really. Like, if we keep things local, like, like, if you talk about COVID kind of struck me in the beginning. The first, because I do have PTSD. I have a couple of mental health issues that I had from my illnesses and stuff. But the first 2 weeks, I did we went up and got 3 $200 grocery orders. Like, my loft, I could show you in a minute, stocked full. I'm like, I'm prepared for, like, complete shutdown for at least a week, right? And we keep it stocked now. That's the other thing, because you buy stuff on sale, right? You get it on sale. It's like chickpeas. I get it like 2 cans for $1.79 instead of 1 can. Well, I'll buy like 8 cans because it's good forever, right? Not forever, but I don't know. So I guess, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't really, COVID didn't. After 2 weeks, I started to think, okay, well, this is my opportunity to fix me, right? Because the last 2 years I had a rough time. I lost 2 big in my life, and then it was really hard after that to kind of get back on track. But then I was like, well, okay, I'm here. I'm immunosuppressed, but I'm not unable to impact my immune system. So the last couple of days I've been doing Tai Chi. Never done it before. It's 5-minute morning sessions to cut my coffee. I think I drink. I had a couple. I shouldn't say cut it. I had the odd one now, but I'm drinking herbal teas instead. You know what I mean? There's ways I can improve. I take vitamin D, 4,000 UIs a day, which is a high dose, but there's some people say it's good for your immune system, right? So that stuff. And then, so then I kind of got fired up a little bit, because I'm like, okay, now I got this now, right? I'm walking more every day, doing the stuff because there's not much else to do. So it's like, work on myself or sit here and complain. Like, there's no point sitting here and complaining, right? It is what it is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, COVID's here, so yeah. But I don't know about bouncing back. I mean,
One thing
Oh, go ahead.
One thing I really appreciate about you, Wayne, and that I've followed now for 2 years, is that you're very innovative, and you always improvise. If someone says that there's no way this can be done, well, I've noticed yourself and a couple names pop out, like Archie McKinnon. We were the first broadcast to have Archie McKinnon in Canada come on. I think his election interview with myself was about 10,000 views. So I really appreciate that about yourself and a lot of folks in CBRM is you improvise and you find ways to be the change. And so this is going to lead into a series of 4 shows, viewers, with Wayne O'Toole and Archie McKinnon. They're going to be sharing ideas, tips, grassroots thoughts to how to change your life daily in the moment now, not projecting 10, 15 years from now. We're talking about today in the moment. And I'm really looking forward to your show, Wayne.
Oh, thank you.
So this was a brief show tonight. I wanted to introduce you. Archie wanted to come on, but he is working on a gravestone right now, so he couldn't come on. But I am looking forward to having Archie and yourself on and more viewers. I'm really looking forward to Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. And next week, you'll be hosting your own show. So I'm looking forward to sitting back and listening to your questions and your dialogue. And viewers, please feel free to message Wayne about anything you want to bring to the table.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. And just to mention, too, Archie McKinnon, I grew up across the street from Archie.
Well, that's a good person to grow up beside.
Yeah, his family, I knew his family really well. Yeah, for sure.
Just out of curiosity, was he spray painting things back in his younger days?
I don't think so. I think Archie was pretty level-headed back then. He was always into union stuff.
No, but I mean, he does such a great job on his. He does a great job on his chairs and his hats. I mean, every time I go on Archie's page, he's got something new spray painted or something new artistically done.
Yeah, I will tell you a secret about Archie from a long time ago. He'll probably laugh if he watches this, but a long time ago when the Atlantic Lottery, I don't know, it wasn't called Atlantic Lottery back then, but the big draw was $100,000. And Archie was fairly young, and he won it. And he bought the typical, for the time, the big van, and he got it all spray painted with all like decals in the sun. It's a beautiful van. I mean, I don't know what it cost him back then, but it was quite a bit of money. Yeah, but he did. He won the $100,000. That was way back. Yeah, he took care of his mom and dad.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
I think Archie owes me a burger then when this COVID thing lifts, because Archie owes me a burger. Or pizza. I hear the best pizzas in Cape Breton Island. Well, Wayne, I want to say thank you. I know this was last minute. We planned this to do an intro to your episodes coming. Thank you so much. I also want to give a shout out of thanks to Lloyd McPherson. I called Lloyd up a couple days ago and I said, Lloyd, who do I want to bring on in Cape Breton that is innovative, that has a spirit and energy for new ideas? And Lloyd said, Wayne O'Toole, you got to get him on. So shout out to Wayne O'Toole. Shout out to everyone in CBRM that is always looking for the positive side of things, despite how much there is some definite things we do go without in Cape Breton. But I just want to say thank you, and I'm looking forward to your show next week, 7 o'clock, and Archie as well. So thank you, Wayne.
All right, thank you.
Next up, we have Jaime Baptiste, the MP for the Sydney Victoria area. Thank you for joining us tonight, viewers, and we'll be back on just shortly here with Jaime Baptiste from Eskasoni, the first Indigenous Mi'kmaq leader in Cape Breton, in Canada. So thank you, Wayne, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Sounds good.
This broadcast is officially over. Thank you, viewers.